Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to another episode of Competitive Corner. I was gonna say VGC Prep, but it's definitely not that. So today we're gonna be taking a look at Golurk, who is something that I was actually supposed to do 2 weeks ago, and I actually did the recordings and I did everything, but I had uploaded it after a battle that I was gonna be uploading because it was featuring. This episode was featuring that battle as an example of Golurk, and I thought I had already uploaded it, so I just deleted all the videos, all the files, everything in association with it, and I could not upload it. That's why there was no Competitive Corner 2 weeks ago. So this is going to be about Golurk, so let's get right into it, and let's start with Golurk. So Golurk is a Ghost Ground type. It's the only of its typing outside of, obviously, its pre-evolution Golett. It has base 89 HP, 124 attack, 80 defense, 55 special attack, 80 special defense, and 55 speed. It's weak to Ghost, Water, Grass, Ice, and Dark, which is a lot of pretty common weaknesses. I mean, in fact, you see pretty much almost all of those attacks in VGC. Pretty much every team runs something like that, maybe with the exception of Grass. So it's definitely not a good set of weaknesses. However, it does have an immunity to normal, fighting, and electric. Those are three fairly common attack types, especially normal. You're completely immune to most Kangaskhan's as long as they're not running Sucker Punch, which I guess when I say most Kangaskhan's, I mean most Kangaskhan's run a normal, fighting, dark combination, so you're pretty much immune to their entire move set except for their Sucker Punch. Electric's also pretty common, and you're also resistant to Poison, Rock, and Bug. Poison and Bug aren't the best resistances in the world. They're definitely a little bit more common this gen, but still not super worthwhile. Rock, on the other hand, is actually pretty good. You also have the three ability choices: Iron Fist, Klutz, and No Guard, and honestly, out of all three of those, Iron Fist is really the only good ability, and we'll get into why I don't think No Guard is good, and we'll actually talk about that right now. So, No Guard. Alright, so No Guard makes it so none of your attacks miss, and none of their attacks miss in going against you. So, first of all, I made a mistake. I put Phantom Force in the highlights. Do ignore that completely. That is not a good move, and I'll explain that in a second. So, normally for this one, you'll just be running 252, 252 in HP and attack, the 4 in whichever one you feel like putting it in. Just don't put it in speed. You don't need it in speed. Golurk is slow. Scarf isn't going to really be doing very much for Golurk, so Trick Room is the best place to play him. So the moves would just be Protect, Earthquake, Dynamic Punch, and Stone Edge. You can run Rock Slide over Stone Edge. You can run Ice Punch over Stone Edge. That's up to you. Honestly, Golurk does not have any good Ghost type attacks for this set, and the reason being is that when you're in Phantom Force with No Guard, the turn where you're invulnerable, you actually can be hit. So you're just a sitting duck, and I've learned that the hard way. It's not a very good place to be in, because I mean, honestly, you're supposed to be invincible, but then you get hit. And, you know, Golurk isn't, you know, the strongest of things, so unfortunately it won't survive many. So just remember that, you know, it's just not a good thing. I'll try and remember to put something over that so you guys know that it's not supposed to be there. Life Orb is your best option on this set. You want to be as powerful as you can. Dynamic Punch is really not that strong on Golurk. It's base 100, so without stab. It does have that 100% chance to confuse, so that's always an option if you want. And just looking at the calcs here, we've got against a fairly bulky Kangaskhan, 2-hit KO with Dynamic Punch. If they're running 4 HP like a standard Jolly Kangaskhan, you have a slight chance of 1-hit KOing. I think it's like a 30%. It's not very good. The Age Slash and Shield form, your Earthquake does do about 74 minimum percent, and that's actually not too bad, and that's in shield form, so that's really nice. You won't be really surviving any Shadow Balls or anything though, so it's not, you know, the best thing in the world. I mean, this is why I think No Guard Golurk is not good. It's just, there's no reason to run it. And I'll show you that right now. If you look at Iron Fist, so Iron Fist, first of all, you do get a Ghost Stab, and you're going to be wondering, Ryan, why are you not putting Shadow Punch on this set. And here's the reasoning. Shadow Punch is only base 60. Shadow Punch only hits up to about, I think it's like 75 base power with Iron Fist. Phantom Force is 90 base power. It's already, even without Iron Fist, stronger than Shadow Punch. Plus, Phantom Force has some really nice combinations. In Trick Room, you can, on the 5th and final turn, you can go for Phantom Force. They won't hit you because you're really slow, and then next turn they won't hit you again because, again, you're really slow. So you'll have 2 turns of invulnerability. It's just a really nice combination. So Iron Fist, what makes Golurk in general not the best choice is because it doesn't really have much options. Both of its stabs do not get affected by either of the 2 abilities. In fact, one of his abilities, No Guard, negatively impacts his strongest ghost stab in Phantom Force. So really, he's not really buffing himself with his abilities. He's really buffing just one move per set or so. And I don't really have to talk too much about Klutz because, you know, he doesn't have Trick, he doesn't have Switcheroo, so he has no way to utilize Klutz like Lopunny does, where she, you know, puts an Assault Vest on like Walls or like something like Cresselia, who has a lot of status moves. So Golurk really doesn't have many options. No Guard is significantly outclassed by Machamp. Machamp gets Wide Guard, I think, and Quick Guard as well. Gets Bullet Punch, Stab on Dynamic Punch, so it's actually going to hit pretty hard. He's a lot stronger, and he's a little bit bulkier. So if you're going to want a No Guard thing to use Dynamic Punch, you're going to go for Machamp. But Iron Fist Golurk is actually not too shabby. He does have quite an array of choices, and Ground, Ghost, and Fighting actually has really, I think, perfect coverage. So it's actually a really well covering set. You can hit pretty much everything in the game, at least neutrally. But Hammer Arm's going to be your main damage dealer because it's pretty strong. Base 120 plus Iron Fist plus Life Orb is very nice. So just looking at this, you see this Aegislash Shield, 252 HP in shield form. You do about 90% damage minimum. That's not bad at all. I could not believe that. I recalced that quite a few times because it's like that literally makes no sense. How am I doing that much damage? I'm not that strong. I'm only base 124. But what's really nice about that matchup is Phantom Force breaks through King Shield. So they were like, okay, so he's going to 100% hit me this turn. I'm going to go for King Shield. Doesn't matter. You break through it, and it works like Feint. It breaks through the King Shield hits, and now that King Shield doesn't exist, so you can attack him as much as you want. That turn. So that's really nice. I really like Phantom Force. It's a very powerful move. And then against the same Kangaskhan that we used last time, you have a minimum of 89%, which is really nice. I mean, it's not great. You still don't have a chance to one-hit KO, and you will lose that matchup because Sucker Punch does, while it doesn't one-hit KO you, it does put you in a spot where it does 2-hit KO you, and regardless of Trick Room or not, you will be outsped. So, I don't know. Golurk is cool. I really like his design, but he didn't really get anything worthwhile. You want to use an Iron Fist, Conkeldur's significantly better. Anything is pretty much significantly better. Because Golurk, while the typing is really nice, especially for this format, it's not great. So, moving on, I mean, those are 2 basic sets that I don't really suggest using. They're not great. But honestly, the best set is Assault Vest Golurk. And you might be thinking, like, well, Ryan, you just said that he doesn't have the greatest of defenses. And that's true. He can normally survive some physical attacks here and there, not too bad, as long as they're not, you know, super effective, you know, like Stab super effective, like the Gyarados' Waterfall. But he can survive some non-stab super effective things, like, you know, like I said, Kangaskhan Sucker Punch does not 2-hit KO. So, Assault Vest, I put Protect there. That is such a miss thing. It's supposed to say Ice Punch. Ice Punch is really good on Golurk. You can, I think with Life Orb, you do still one-hit KO. I messed up this set here. It's supposed to say Assault Vest. Obviously, it's Assault Vest, because I said it over in the corner. But it's supposed to obviously have Assault Vest. Obviously, we're going to be running Iron Fist because Iron Fist is significantly better than No Guard. And you have very different options. If you want to go for the Hammer Arm again to get those KOs, That's nice. Drain Punch works really well, just in general. Drain Punch isn't as strong, but it does do some pretty good work. You know, I mean, it's not super strong, so you're not going to be getting KOs, but you know what I'm trying to say. So a Ludicolo max special attack with Modest and 252. Doesn't even one-hit KO you with Hydro Pump. That's great. That is fantastic. 252 special attack, Modest, Life Orb, Aegis Slash. Sometimes one-hit KOs you, but you know, I mean, it's not a great matchup. Like I said, Golurk isn't amazing. You really need to build a team around Golurk for it to work, or just play really well with it. You'll survive a lot of attacks that you don't think you will with the Assault Vest. There was part of this episode, part of these battles, you can see that we survive I think it was Helping Hand boosted Dark Pulse. No, it definitely wasn't, because as you see, it just happened right now on screen. We survived with 6 HP, which is insane to survive that. I don't think he's Choice Specs. I know we are Assault Vest though, so that's something to think. But overall, I think Assault Vest is the best set for Golurk. It can't really do very much else. But, you know, I did a little bit more research because I figured 3 sets isn't great, especially with 2 of them being pretty much identical. Focus Punch. Focus Punch is actually something that's kind of interesting. And actually, you know, I think it might work a little bit better than Assault Vest if you can get it set up. So it's basically the same EVs that we've been using this entire time. There's really no reason not to. But what's cool about this is that Focus Punch is actually boosted by Iron Fist. So while it's 30 points higher than Hammer Arm, it's actually base 150, which is already kind of ridiculous. So, you know, we're going to be running Protect, Substitute, Phantom Force, and Focus Punch. Basically, Substitute is there to protect you from being flinched out of Focus Punch. If you know how that works, you charge it up at the beginning of the turn and you let it go at the end of the turn. But unfortunately, if they hit you with any kind of move, it doesn't go off. So even if you survive, it doesn't go off. So you need that substitute. It's commonly called Sub Punch, and it's a very powerful attack, as you can see in the description below. We've got, not in the description, you know, in the highlights section, the same Kangaskhan we've been battling. It's a minimum of 133%. So, yeah, you're going to be one-hit KOing that thing all the time. And to a standard Sylveon on Showdown, it's a minimum of 49%. And remember, Sylveon does resist fighting type. So, and you don't even have stab, so that's really impressive. That's really impressive. And what's cool about this set is that I put Phantom Force because Ghost Fighting has better coverage than Ground Fighting. Plus, what Phantom Force is really nice about doing is that it lets you disappear for a turn. So if they want to break your sub for one turn and you're not ready and you need to KO another Pokemon that can break your sub, you can just disappear, KO that Pokemon, come back next turn and set up a sub. So it's really nice. It's good at preserving your substitute. Protect isn't as necessary in this set rather. So you can run Earthquake on it if you want. It's not, you know, necessary. You know, Earthquake isn't. It's a strong move. It's stronger than Phantom Force, but I think for the most part, what Earthquake hits, you're probably going to want to be hitting with Focus Punch instead if you can. But then again, you know, it is an option if you can't get that sub up. So that, my friends, is going to be Golurk. I do appreciate you guys watching. I really wish I uploaded this when it was supposed to go up, but what are you going to do? I think Golurk needs some work. It's not very good. There's really no reason to ever run it. It's just outclassed by a lot of things. Sub Punch and Assault Vest are probably the best options, even though Sub Punch is kind of a little gimmicky and it requires a lot of work to get going. But if you can get it set up and ready to go, Focus Punch will do a lot of damage. So just keep that in mind, guys. With that said, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Peace.